What if a single, secret trip by a little-known military strategist could not only change the entire future of West Africa but also send shockwaves threatening global peace as we know it? In a world dominated by headlines about obvious conflicts and alliances, there are silent players working behind the scenes, crafting strategies and building alliances that the public rarely hears about. These shadowy moves often shape the wars we never see coming. Have you ever wondered how hidden alliances between distant countries influence the battles and political unrest affecting millions? What happens when a young, digitally savvy military mind gains access to war secrets from one of the most isolated and secretive regimes on Earth, North Korea? Ibrahim Traoré Un is a name that few outside certain intelligence circles recognize, yet his influence on West Africa's security landscape is profound. Emerging from an undisclosed West African country, Traoré embodies a new breed of military strategist, young, digitally adept, and unbound by traditional warfare doctrines. Unlike the generals of the past who relied primarily on brute force and rigid hierarchies, Traoré excels in hybrid warfare, a sophisticated combination of conventional combat, cyber operations, and psychological tactics designed to destabilize adversaries in multifaceted ways. His expertise extends far beyond the battlefield. Traoré is widely rumored to have received advanced military education in Russia and China, two nations known for cultivating some of the world's most secretive and effective military minds. This international training added a global perspective and access to clandestine tactics, blending guerrilla warfare principles with modern cyber capabilities. It's said that he learned how to orchestrate decentralized command structures and master the art of misinformation, skills critical in today's asymmetric conflicts. Amid the ongoing instability plaguing West African countries like Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, Traoré serves as a vital advisor to his nation's intelligence services. The region has been a hotbed of extremist militias, foreign influence, and fragile governments. Within this volatile environment, Traoré's role is twofold: to contain violent insurgencies and to maneuver strategically against outside powers seeking footholds. His digital savvy allows him to coordinate operations that combine real-world military actions with cyber attacks and propaganda campaigns, making him an elusive figure capable of outsmarting both enemies and allies. Behind the scenes, Traoré operates in the shadows, rarely seen in public but often pulling the strings of regional power plays. His rise represents a shift in military leadership, where age, technology, and international connections now define strategic advantage. As West Africa faces mounting challenges, Ibrahim Traoré Un's approach offers both hope and concern, a glimpse into how future conflicts may be fought far from the public eye. Ibrahim Traoré Un is a name that few outside certain intelligence circles recognize, yet his influence on West Africa's security landscape is profound. Emerging from an undisclosed West African country, Traoré embodies a new breed of military strategist, young, digitally adept, and unbound by traditional warfare doctrines. Unlike the generals of the past who relied primarily on brute force and rigid hierarchies, Traoré excels in hybrid warfare, a sophisticated combination of conventional combat, cyber operations, and psychological tactics designed to destabilize adversaries in multifaceted ways. His expertise extends far beyond the battlefield. Traoré is widely rumored to have received advanced military education in Russia and China, two nations known for cultivating some of the world's most secretive and effective military minds. This international training added a global perspective and access to clandestine tactics, blending guerrilla warfare principles with modern cyber capabilities. It's said that he learned how to orchestrate decentralized command structures and master the art of misinformation, skills critical in today's asymmetric conflicts. Amid the ongoing instability plaguing West African countries like Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, Traoré serves as a vital advisor to his nation's intelligence services. The region has been a hotbed of extremist militias, foreign influence, and fragile governments. Within this volatile environment, Traoré's role is twofold: to contain violent insurgencies and to maneuver strategically against outside powers seeking footholds. His digital savvy allows him to coordinate operations that combine real-world military actions with cyber attacks and propaganda campaigns, making him an elusive figure capable of outsmarting both enemies and allies. Behind the scenes, Traoré operates in the shadows, rarely seen in public but often pulling the strings of regional power plays. His rise represents a shift in military leadership, where age, technology, and international connections now define strategic advantage. As West Africa faces mounting challenges, Ibrahim Traoré Un's approach offers both hope and concern, a glimpse into how future conflicts may be fought far from the public eye. Burkina Faso in late 2024 was a nation on edge. Years of political upheaval, repeated coups, and growing jihadist insurgencies had left its leadership precariously balanced. General Moussa Diarra, head of the military council that had taken power, faced immense pressure to stabilize the country and fend off mounting threats. The fragile political landscape demanded urgent and unconventional solutions. Amid this tension, Ibrahim Traoré Un arrived in Burkina Faso on a mission officially described as strengthening regional cooperation on counterterrorism. Yet few believed the trip was merely routine diplomacy. Traoré's journey was cloaked in secrecy from the start. Rather than traveling on a government plane or commercial flight, he used a private jet owned by a shadowy corporation rumored to be a front for international arms dealers. What raised further suspicion was the alleged connection of this company to North Korean networks, a nation known for covert arms trading and military outreach. Traoré's arrival in Ouagadougou, the capital, was swift and discreet. He bypassed the usual diplomatic channels, avoiding formal customs and security checks. Only a select few government officials were aware of his visit, and even among them details were scarce. This covert approach suggested a mission far beyond typical military cooperation. Why the secrecy? What was hidden beneath the official narrative? Intelligence experts speculated that Traoré's trip was part of a broader scheme involving unconventional warfare tactics, potentially linked to external powers with vested interests in West Africa's future. The use of North Korean-linked resources and clandestine logistics hinted at something far more dangerous than shared counterterrorism strategies. This mysterious journey set the stage for a secret meeting that would later alarm global intelligence agencies, a meeting where new war tactics inspired by one of the world's most isolated regimes would be handed over to a rising African strategist. The true agenda behind Traoré's trip remained classified, but the consequences would soon become impossible to ignore. What Traoré learned from Kim Jong-un's playbook. During his secretive visit, Ibrahim Traoré Un absorbed critical lessons from North Korea's military doctrine, strategies honed over decades under intense international pressure. 4 key elements stood out, each offering a unique advantage in modern hybrid warfare. 1. Decentralized command and small unit autonomy. North Korea's military emphasizes empowering small, highly trained units to operate independently without waiting for centralized orders. This decentralized structure allows forces to adapt quickly to changing battlefield conditions and execute surprise attacks. Traoré recognized how this model could transform fragmented militant groups in West Africa, who often lack cohesive leadership but are familiar with guerrilla tactics. By training autonomous units capable of rapid decision-making, Traoré plans to increase operational flexibility and resilience against larger, better-equipped adversaries. 2. Psychological warfare and propaganda mastery. North Korea's control over information is legendary. Its propaganda machine shapes public perception and manipulates narratives both domestically and internationally. Traoré studied these techniques to boost his own influence campaigns. He envisions using social media, clandestine broadcasts, and misinformation to destabilize opponents, erode public trust in rival factions, and rally support among civilians. This psychological warfare aims to weaken enemy morale while strengthening his side's political foothold. 3. Cyber warfare tactics for disruption and infiltration. Despite limited resources, North Korea has become a formidable cyber actor, launching attacks that disrupt infrastructure, steal sensitive data, and sow confusion. Traoré learned methods to develop cyber units capable of infiltrating enemy communications and disabling critical systems. Applying this to West Africa, where digital infrastructure is increasingly vital, Traoré aims to combine cyberattacks with physical operations to paralyze foes and gain strategic advantage. 4. Survival and resilience in harsh conditions and sanctions. North Korea's experience enduring prolonged isolation and sanctions offers valuable lessons in maintaining troop morale and logistics under siege. Traoré was particularly interested in their ability to sustain military operations despite scarcity. 4 regions in West Africa plagued by resource shortages and harsh environments, these survival strategies could prove essential. Traoré intends to implement supply chain resilience and morale-boosting techniques to keep forces operational in adverse conditions. Together, these 4 lessons form the backbone of a new hybrid warfare doctrine Traoré is adapting to meet West Africa's unique challenges, merging guerrilla agility, psychological influence, cyber disruption, and resilience into a potent strategy. Upon his return from Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traoré Un introduced a groundbreaking hybrid warfare strategy that integrates lessons learned from North Korea with the realities of West African conflict zones. This strategy is multifaceted, combining military innovation with psychological and cyber elements designed to outmaneuver both traditional armies and insurgent groups. Mobile, autonomous military units. Central to Traoré's approach is the creation of small, highly mobile units trained to operate independently without waiting for centralized commands. These units specialize in hit-and-run tactics, ambushes, and rapid redeployment, making them difficult to track and neutralize. This decentralization maximizes flexibility and resilience, enabling forces to exploit weaknesses in enemy formations and maintain pressure in contested territories. Integrated cyber and propaganda warfare. Traoré's strategy places equal emphasis on non-physical battles. Cyber operations are coordinated alongside traditional combat, targeting enemy communications, intelligence networks, and infrastructure. Simultaneously, propaganda campaigns use social media, local radio, and covert messaging to influence public opinion, sow discord among opposition groups, and rally civilian support. This fusion of cyber and psychological warfare blurs the line between military and information domains, creating a continuous front of conflict. Use of unconventional weapons and psychological tactics. The plan includes the deployment of improvised explosive devices and low-cost weaponry that can be manufactured or obtained easily. Psychological tactics such as misinformation, intimidation, and staged attacks are designed to destabilize and demoralize opponents. By keeping adversaries guessing and off balance, Traoré's forces gain strategic advantages without requiring overwhelming firepower. Civilian engagement and coercion blurring combatant lines. Perhaps most controversially, the strategy involves deep engagement with local populations, offering protection and resources to some while coercing others to secure supply lines and intelligence. This approach intentionally blurs the distinctions between combatants and civilians, complicating enemy responses and increasing operational security. Revolutionary impact and potential dangers. This hybrid warfare model represents a major shift in West African conflict dynamics. It moves away from large-scale confrontations toward decentralized, multi-domain tactics that exploit technological advancements and psychological vulnerabilities. However, the strategy also carries risks. By empowering small autonomous groups and blending civilian involvement with combat operations, it risks escalating violence, undermining governance, and potentially strengthening insurgent forces. If unchecked, this approach could deepen regional instability and draw in international powers concerned about the spread of unconventional warfare tactics. The revelation of Ibrahim Traoré Un's new hybrid warfare strategy, influenced by North Korean tactics, sent ripples far beyond West Africa's borders, prompting swift and serious reactions from regional and global actors. The United Nations Security Council convened an emergency session to address the alarming implications. Concerns centered on the possible violation of international sanctions that prohibit military cooperation with North Korea. Member states feared that the transfer of clandestine military knowledge and technologies could destabilize an already fragile region, potentially fueling conflicts that threaten broader peace and security. Meanwhile, the African Union expressed deep unease over what it called external interference in African security affairs. The introduction of foreign military doctrines linked to isolated regimes into West African conflicts was seen as a dangerous precedent. The Union called on member states to strengthen regional collaboration and develop indigenous strategies to counteract any destabilizing influences. On another front, Western intelligence agencies, particularly those in France, the United States, and the United Kingdom, intensified surveillance efforts. They ramped up monitoring of arms shipments, cyber activities, and communication networks suspected of supporting Traoré's hybrid warfare model. Cyber defense teams worked overtime to protect critical infrastructure and counter potential digital incursions linked to this evolving threat. Meanwhile, global powers such as China and Russia watched developments with cautious interest. Analysts speculated that both nations might exploit the situation to extend their influence in West Africa through proxy relationships, potentially complicating the already complex geopolitical landscape. While neither openly endorsed the alliance, their measured engagement hinted at possible strategic calculations. Collectively, these reactions underscored a growing anxiety about how Traoré's alliance with North Korean military advisors challenges existing power balances. The fusion of secretive Asian tactics with African insurgencies threatened to upend traditional conflict management and could redraw the region's political map. As the world grapples with this unsettling shift, the question remains, how will established powers respond to a hybrid threat that blurs borders and defies conventional warfare? Since Ibrahim Traoré Un's return and the rollout of his hybrid warfare strategy, early signs reveal a complex and uncertain picture. In some border regions, small autonomous units have successfully disrupted militant movements, employing rapid, unpredictable tactics that have caught opponents off guard. Cyberattacks targeting rival communications have caused temporary disruptions, and coordinated propaganda efforts have influenced local populations, swaying public opinion in unexpected ways. However, these developments have also produced mixed results. The blurred lines between combatants and civilians have led to accusations of human rights abuses and increased distrust within communities. The strategy's aggressive use of psychological and cyber tactics has sparked fears of escalating violence and deeper instability. Analysts warn that the expansion of such unconventional warfare methods risks igniting broader conflicts that may spiral beyond control. In this shifting landscape, Ibrahim Traoré Un remains an elusive figure, part strategist, part enigma. To some, he is a visionary leader adapting to the complexities of modern conflict and protecting his nation's sovereignty against foreign interference. To others, he is a reckless provocateur whose gamble with shadowy alliances could plunge West Africa into chaos. The stakes could not be higher. This new era of conflict, defined by cyber assaults, propaganda wars, and guerrilla strikes, challenges traditional notions of security and warfare. As regional powers and global players watch closely, the future remains uncertain. Only time will tell if this war strategy will bring security or chaos to West Africa, and what the world's next move will be. What do you think? Will Ibrahim Traoré Un's gamble succeed or fail? Share your thoughts in the comments below. The story of Ibrahim Traoré Un reveals the high stakes behind secret alliances and the evolving nature of warfare in our modern world. As shadowy deals and unconventional tactics reshape conflict zones, global politics often conceals dramatic, far-reaching stories that impact millions, hidden just beneath the surface. This unfolding saga reminds us that the battles for power and influence are rarely straightforward. They are complex, multi-layered, and full of unexpected twists, making it crucial to stay informed and aware. If you found this story compelling, don't forget to like this video, share it with others who love uncovering political mysteries, and subscribe to Magnificent Story for more deep dives into the world's most intriguing events. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. We want to hear from you. Share your thoughts and stories in the comments below. What do you think about Traoré's gamble and its impact on West Africa? Join the conversation now.